Welcome back to my backyard snack yard on a very sunny day here in the end of March. It's actually the last Sunday of March, so it's Mother's Day here in the UK. So it's been a really lovely time. We had a wonderful walk out in a local open garden. Really pretty and so colourful, and everything has been waking up here in the garden the last few weeks. Let's just have a little quick look and then I must get on with some really quick jobs that have been waiting for quite some time. First of all, I just have to show you how this flowering currant looks. It is just absolutely full. Oops. It's absolutely full of flowers. They're so beautiful and very fragrant too. Some people don't like the fragrance because it can smell like cat's urine, but I mean, I don't really think it smells that bad, to be fair. And the bees absolutely love it, so that's a bonus. But everything seems to be quite early. We've got apple blossom coming here. This is my red devil apple tree, and it just produces these really bright red apples, obviously, the name. And yeah, it's really getting ready to start flowering very soon. And further on down, let's go back down this way. See how bright the sky is. Blue. Oh yes, so here's my Japanese pear tree. 20th century pear, this one. And actually, for the first time ever, I think the flowers look really good and healthy. Usually, because they flower so early, they get bitten by frost. But these ones all look absolutely healthy. They're slightly self-fertile, so I might get some pears this year. Oh, Asian pears would be so nice. And also they have pollination partners over here. This is my duo European pear tree, and it is getting ready to bloom. Look at those little beautiful flower buds on that one. That side there is the Concord side, and then the other half of the tree is Conference, and it's also getting ready to flower. The handy thing about having a duo pear tree is that you get pollination partners that way for both pairs. Oh, it's going to be flowering all the way up. I have been having quite a big job of keeping this tree pickable because it just really wants to shoot out really tall leaders, and because it's a duo one, then it's got like multiple leaders. But I'll do some more summer pruning on it and try to keep it in check, because there's no point having a super duper tall fruit tree. But that one's doing wonderfully too. And then actually the new pear tree I got last year seems to have a few flower buds on it as well that might develop, or if not, maybe they're not. Actually, I think they're all foliage buds. I mean, sometimes they can be quite quick to flower. It's a chujuro, this one. It's supposed to have real butterscotch flavored Asian pears, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to flower this year, so that would also have been a lot to hope for in the first year. Let's just see a few more things. Down here I have some really cute baby blue muscari. I love these ones. I planted them a few years ago. They're little bulbs and they keep coming up every year, and they're so adorable. They come in so many different colors now, and these ones are extra cute. They're all along here. I think there's some white ones over here. But yeah, so lovely. And we also have the odd tulip, which I think is early. And this is the guy I got last week at a plant fair, a local one, and it is just so beautiful. It's bleeding heart. How they look when they are in full bloom. I've never had a red and white one before. I've always had really hot pink ones and white ones, and these ones are just so lovely. And then we have some little anemones over here, windflowers. Oh, and also wood sorrel. Got some wood sorrel in this pot here. They're so dainty and cute. And actually the leaves are really tasty. They're quite sour. And further on, our humongous cherry tree still has lots of flower buds, but it's not yet blooming just yet. But this is a pink currant, and look at those flower buds. That is so exciting. Birds absolutely love currants. I've got another one over here. And so I am so going to protect these because they're still quite small plants and don't have that many fruits on them. So I would like to protect them from my hungry birds. There's so much else the birds can eat, and I really am a good sharer. But these ones are special. Next to it is quite a large mulberry tree. It's actually a mulberry bush, and this one is known as Charlotte Russe. And it is a black mulberry one, an ever-bearing one, and it's full of lovely little flower buds, which will be opening up very soon, I imagine. So might get some sooner rather than later. This over here is a honeyberry bush, and it's supposed to be one of the earliest fruiters. It's definitely an early flowerer, and they are so hardy that even if the flowers get covered by snow, which mine have done on occasion, it doesn't bother them. They just end up as berries. Either way, my birds are big fans of them too. They know the blueberries taste good because these ones are as blue as blueberries. They just have a different flavor and a slightly different shape to them. So I do have to keep them slightly protected from birds as well, but I always use a very fine net so as not to trap the birds' little delicate legs. I'd hate to do that. I'm a very big fan of my garden birds. Ah, and some tulips over there coming up as well. Lovely. And of course, there's lots of little daffodils, all sorts of them. Really cute. We have another we have another plum tree here. This is one I'm actually very excited about. It's a Swedish one, and it's called Violetta, but I only planted it last year, I believe, and it's not due to fruit for the next few years, so it's just about keeping it going. And you can see lots of little foliage buds there, but no flower ones as far as I can tell, so not too exciting just yet. I hope I showed you this magnolia. It is magnificent. Let me show you some of the buds, the flowers. They are so stunning. It's quite a large tree, but it's a nice slender one, and it's quite compact, so it's supposed to be really ideal for small gardens. It is called Black Tulip Magnolia. The flowers are so beautiful and have a really lovely fragrance to them, really delicate fragrance that you can really smell when the sun's out. It really is a special tree. Such a treat. The potted blueberries are also looking very good. They're pushing out lots and lots and lots of flower buds. I did feed them a few weeks ago now, give them their spring feed, so they're nice and healthy and full of energy to flower beautifully and produce lots of berries. And actually, really excitingly, this one here, which has a slightly different color to it, is actually a pink lemonade one, and it has lots of little flower buds this year, so that's a really good sign. They're a really tasty blueberry that are pink, so it should be called pinkberry, and they taste a bit like, well, they have a citrusy flavor to them too, which makes them sort of taste like pink lemonade. Perfect. But yeah, look at these really fat flower buds here on my regular. These are really enormous blueberries that grow on these bushes here. They're just high bush blueberries, and they haven't got a specific cultivar name because I bought them in the supermarket years and years ago, so they've just been growing for quite some time. They've got nice and big in very large pots full of ericaceous compost, and I feed them with an ericaceous feed as well. Taking my nectarine tree outside because it is pretty much finished flowering, and I think, well, I hope that some of the little flowers were pollinated. I tried to hand pollinate them, so we'll see what comes of them, but the leaves are looking good, and I think it can actually stay outside pretty soon. We still have some cold nights. Tonight it's going to be about 1 degree Celsius, so not super hot, so I'm still keeping it in the greenhouse where the temperature tends to stay at about 8 degrees Celsius at the moment. fingers crossed it will stay that way. I put this little cover over some of my rhubarbs that I planted here last year. These ones are called rhubarb raspberry red, and they are now starting to come up. I'm going to take the cover off very soon, but it's like a little kind of plastic cloche to keep them warm and to get them started. These ones are supposed to be red even if you don't cover them, which is a really nice bonus, and they're meant to taste super good, a bit extra sweet. I can't wait. I really hope I can pick some of them because they look like they're quite healthy. I also started some rhubarbs this year from bare root. Let me show you how they're doing. This one I started out in the greenhouse, and at one point it had more stems, but the first ones got a bit touched by frost and then they died. So it's not doing as well, certainly not as well as the one I kept in the house. Let me show you that one. So here's the rhubarb I started in a pot in the house, so it's had that protection of the warmth. I started it on the 9th of February and we're on the 30th of March now. So it has been some weeks, but it's doing really well. It's pushed out loads of stems and they're all doing well. I'm keeping it well watered and it's in a sunny position. It's got some ants crawling on it, which aren't ideal, but very soon I'm going to put it outside and just leave it to it. There's so much more I would so love to show you, but I'm really running out of time and daylight, so I'll have to move on now. I'm going to be out here planting my peas. I have done some pre-sprouting of these peas in my little sprouting jar. Such a handy way to do it. They're full of little tails, so I'm going to get them into the ground now and hope for some peas very soon. But it's just the best time of year, honestly. I mean, these are all the black currants that are also starting to bloom, and it's just so lovely. I'm so happy to be out here again. It's amazing to see all this. So I'm going to go and set up all the peas now, get lots of little pea sticks out. I've been also pruning my very big buddleia here. Only pruned half of it so far. It's super tall, but all those little sticks are super useful because I can use them as pea sticks. So I just strip them down and use them as pea sticks. So I'll get going with that and sow my peas, and hopefully we'll soon have some wonderful peas growing. But thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next time. See, here's some of the prune stuff, if that's visible. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.